Welcome to It's Teal Time. I'm your host, Ray Ray. Alongside of me is not Miss Chrissy D. She has the night off. Instead, it is my partner in crime, I guess. That didn't sound right, but fuck it, don't matter. Duvall Kenny. Everybody welcome him.
What's going on, everybody?
So in case people don't know who the fuck you are, give them your background.
My name is Jedd Fische. I am a host of a podcast. All things comedy, we try to make people laugh, whatnot. About it.
Yeah, we're going to talk all the fucking Jaguars. That's it.
Right.
And it's not Jaguars, it's Jaguars.
Yeah, it's cool, though. I'll give Gus a pass, man, because honestly, Gus will probably fuck me up in a fight.
I hear that, man. I hear that. But in the future, we're hoping, he's already said yes, but we'll see what's going on. The world-class Aussie Jag will be joining us at some point. Craig Fordham.
Yep, and you can follow them at CtJags on Twitter. I will say I will vouch for Fred.
Yeah, something like that. Down Under is a wall ahead of us. I know that for a fact. I have many friends from Australia, believe it or not.
Yeah, he's a no kidding, man. I thought I heard an Australian accent that you had there.
I don't think so, but anyway.
You have originally fuck guys.
Yeah, I don't play with the land of kangaroos.
Yeah, me neither, man. They got too many fucked up animals over there. Dude.
All right.
Jellyfish and shit.
Exactly, but Craig Fordham is a hell of a dude, or Aussie Jag. I am known as CtJags. I call myself Ray Ray now, but originally I was CtJags. I am from Connecticut, and I have been a diehard Jags fan since day one or year one or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I became a Jags fan, even though I believe it. Who was it? Berline started.
Say that again.
Who was the original quarterback for the Jags?
Well, if you really want to get nasty with it, Steve Berline was supposed to be the starter.
Yeah.
Mark Brunell took the job from him in camp, and Berline went to Carolina and became their starter, and we both went to the AFC.
Exactly. Yeah, I was actually in Everbank, and I was having a discussion with someone, and I said, I was a diehard Jags fan from the get-go, and I'm like, well, he's like, well, what made you become the Jags fan? And I said, well, Mark Brunell was left-handed, and I'm left-handed as well. He said, well, you're wrong because Steve Berline was the original quarterback, and I said, well, what the fuck, man? I'm from Connecticut, Give me some slack.
No, what you should have fucking answered was, no, you're fucking wrong because he wasn't the starting quarterback. He was supposed to be, and I put those in giant fucking...
Yeah, I understand. I got you. But yeah, because he was left-handed and I was left-handed and I didn't want to follow Carolina Blue and I wanted my own team. Because prior to the Jaguars' existence, I was an Eagles fan. But Rich Kotite came in after he killed the Jets and disassembled my fucking team. So.
Right, and what I was going to say was, back then, when we got the team, I was
I hear that, man. For those that don't think I am a true Jaguars fan, I went to the Jaguars versus the Colts game this year. I went to a few games, and I couldn't understand why there were so many Colts fans in the fucking stadium. I'm like, okay, I understand that they're rivals and shit, but I don't understand. So what I did was I went to the library and I got the history of Jacksonville football. And it explained to me that originally the Baltimore Colts actually came to were going to buy, bring the team to Jacksonville. Thank God they didn't. I'm not I hate the Colts, but I'm actually rooting for the Broncos to win just so Peyton Manning retires. I'm sick of the motherfucker.
on the band that never left, or the band that never left Baltimore or whatever?
No, I didn't, but I did read on the history of Jacksonville football. I learned that there was another league at the time, and there was the Jacksonville Bulls, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it wasn't the AFL, I don't think. It was, what was it? No,
Yeah, it was the AFL.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah, because that was the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Early 80s, right? Like 81, 82?
Exactly.
We don't need to get into logistics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they weren't the only team that tried prior to Jacksonville. People think that the Jaguars just came out of nowhere, and that's wrong. The Cardinals at that time, they almost came to Jacksonville. The Saints almost came to Jacksonville as well.
Right, and it's funny, dude. It's one of those strange small world deals. I was explaining to my out overnight.
Yeah.
They put a lane tipping on the Baltimore fans, man. But you know, what was
well, I mean, the Saints almost did the same thing. The Saints were actually in the playoffs at that time, and they were, almost making a deal with freaking Jacksonville.
Was that when Archie Manning was
Yep.
on that team?
Yep.
Archie, I love me some Archie Bunker. What is it, Jim Irsay Jr.? What was Irsay's father's name?
I don't remember, but
well,
go ahead.
They flew him down here during a Bulls game.
Mm-hmm.
He flew here at halftime on a helicopter and landed in the middle of the field on halftime and got out of the helicopter, waved to the crowd.
Exactly. Well, it was. The reason I mention it, though, is because anybody that's outside of Jacksonville will automatically, talk about ticket sales and everything. How the Jaguars are, have shitty ticket sales. But what they don't realize was originally the field was made for the freaking Florida, was it, the Gators and, was it?
Georgia, Florida.
Yeah, the Georgia, Florida, and the seat capacity was what, like 80,000?
Yeah, I think right now, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm paraphrasing again, but I believe when they got the bud zone there, they come in.
All right. Well, you can speak for a moment here because I gotta go get my battery charger before we get disconnected again. Like we haven't had enough fucking issues tonight.
Oh no, I can keep going on the brief history here. I was. When we got the team, like I said, I was about 8 or 9 years old. And Norfolk, with me yet?
One moment.
We have dead air now?
One moment, I'm here. I just gotta work on one more thing.
Okay, are we still live right now?
We're still live.
Okay. Can you edit this out, or, it's a radio show, you can't do that.
You can't edit a radio show, man.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, so we got some dead air. Well, I'll give you a little background. I myself do live here in Jacksonville.
All right, well, I'm back.
All right, sweet.
I'm going to cut you off just like I do my wife.
Nice.
All right.
It's your show, man. It's your show.
I am not, well, it's our show,
Oh, thank you.
So, it is what it is, the rest of the week is like me and my, old lady, but you're, allowed to come on anytime, but the fucking thing about it is I actually lived out in Jacksonville for a little while. I wanted to stay in Jacksonville. The problem was when you move in with the mother-in-law, you never know what the fuck's going to happen, and then when she downgrades your boy, and then you get your electric bill, and if you have never dealt with fucking JEA, don't ever.
Yes, absolutely don't fuck with JEA. They suck.
A fucking $400 bill, yeah, but $300 credit, and you still owe $250. How the fuck does that make any sense?
Yeah, I don't know, but I forgot to tell you that JEA was going to try to sponsor this podcast tonight for you, so I guess that's probably out.
Yeah, I guess not. Well, the problem I had with them, I hate to call people out, but anybody in Jacksonville probably agrees. they told me, okay, well, your water bill is one price, and then whatever your water bill is, your sewer is double. And they said, I spoke to a supervisor, and the supervisor said, well, we have to pay more, so you have to pay more. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, I'm an intelligent fucker. I'm not a dumbass, right? If I'm paying more, what the fuck are you actually paying? What you're paying? I'm paying the overhead. So what the fuck are you paying? What profit are you getting off me?
Right. Yeah, they are some conniving effort, and I deal with them. I feel like stepping up.
All right.
It was disgusting. It was like literally like, come on, really? And it was a typo on their part, and all I got was a sorry. So if I don't pay my bill on time.
No, if you give them an IOU, they say lights off.
Yeah, exactly. They don't care if you got a baby in the house or not.
No, they don't, and that's the fucked up part.
That's very fucked up.
But I would never, if I live back out there, which I hope to live out there one day, I would not live in Jacksonville. I love Jacksonville, but I would not live in Jacksonville due to the fact I would not deal with JEA. I just wouldn't. They're pieces of shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love, I grew up, I don't know, how long did you live in Jacksonville for? Right?
I was only there for a month or two. I wanted to stay, but like I said, you can't live with. It doesn't matter what you sign. If you are not happy with your living environment and you have an opportunity to, have something more affordable, you go for it. Because if you don't, you're just a dumbass and you're going to struggle. Because if the way she was acting like she was going to leave. And if she left, it was going to leave us with everything and we were going to get fucked over. She wanted to be by herself anyway. So, it worked out for the best. But it sucks because I'd rather be in Jacksonville. I'd rather, have season tickets right now and, be able to go to all the games.
Right. I grew up, technically where I grew up is considered Jacksonville, but Ray, when I say I'm on the outer limits of Jacksonville.
Yeah, I drove through Mandarin.
Yeah, I live just south of Mandarin. If you went down, I guess, San Jose Boulevard, which is one of the main strips in Jacksonville, it's like a checkerboard. Jacksonville's like a giant.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I live there outside of Orlando, and dude, you want to talk about crap hole. Oh, my God. Did you ever see a movie called Jeepers Creepers?
No, I can't say have.
You're not missing anything. But they filmed it where my old high school was that I went to, and anyway, that's besides the fact. But what we should be talking about.
Yeah, exactly. But I just wanted to give a little, a thing about me because I am outside of Jacksonville right now. But I did live out there. Whataburger is fantastic. I heard from the owner there that Mark Brunell actually used to own them, probably before he filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah, him and Sonny Baselli, they owned a franchise. And actually, I think Baselli still does. I don't know about Brunell. Brunell? Yeah,
well, I'm not. I started watching the Jags due to Brunell, but I still don't think he belongs in the Pride. How do you put him where he said that, I know a lot of people in Jacksonville are going to hate me, but where the dude literally came on and said that he, that they're primed to move, but yet your best wide receiver ever, you won't put him on the Pride because he did shit outside of football? It doesn't make any damn sense. It ain't like Jimmy Smith didn't care about the community. He did a lot of things for the fucking community. But because he got wrapped up in fucking the wrong shit, he'll never be in the Pride. He'll probably never be in the Hall of Fame, though he's fucking one of the fucking best ever fucking wide receivers.
Absolutely, man. And I honestly, man, I think he will get into the Pride. I think now that, he's on house arrest.
I think he left Kaplan last year. I'm not 100% sure. It's a pretty foggy because I'm lucky if I remember last week, but I remember like the main fucking things. So.
Yeah, but he left here with a little bit of bad blood, and it sucked because when Malarkey got hired here, they were going to bring him in.
Yeah, of course I do. He's the one that would hit himself to get fucking ready. He coached here for I think 2 years. He interned 1 year, and then he coached. But he actually got signed on with the Malarkey staff as I remember that.
And him and anyway, but Spicer's still, and they had Big John Henderson has a chain of restaurants.
Sure is. He played for the UT Vols.
Yeah, and wasn't Stroud the ball guy in?
I'm not 100% sure, but I believe so as well.
I might be horribly wrong on that stuff. I can't remember, but I know Big John was.
No, I know for a fact John Henderson was, yes.
Yeah, you talk about, let me tell you something, man. That duo of Stroud and Henderson, Ray, come on now. Think about those two motherfuckers in their prime, dude. That's when we used to be
real football, right?
I don't give a shit, man. We're a joke now, and it pisses me off. But a defense is starting to come around. I think Cyprian's going to be on the Donovan. There it is.
Yeah, exactly. What pisses me off, though, and not to cut you off, but I'm good at that, is that we would have been set, but fucking Gene Smith fucked up.
Yeah.
You had fucking I was on Jaguars.com on the forum, under CtJags and whatnot, and I was telling everybody, my buddy was telling me, out here in Tennessee, he was telling me that fucking, there's this one kid, he's phenomenal. He's just got a really shitty quarterback, and he could be had for cheap, and you all need a wide receiver. Okay? This was before we fucking drafted fucking Justin Blackman the following year. Okay?
Yeah.
Fucking Denarius Moore was sitting there, and we didn't take him.
Dude, yeah, I mean, we could go on and on about how many people we didn't take. I mean, look at the worst one of all.
Yeah, I know.
DJ fucking Watt. I mean, really? Is there even a comparison there? Like, honestly, you can get by with a mediocre quarterback.
Wait a second. And this is where we're gonna argue a little bit, but that's cool, because that's his life. Mm-hmm. And if there wasn't this fucking buzzing going on, I don't even know where this fucking buzzing's coming from. Probably the fucking volume's too high or something.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I still believe in Blaine Gabbert, and I'm gonna explain why. And I know everybody's gonna think I'm a nuts. Okay. He has still yet to have a fucking line worth a damn. Since he came in, he's had no fucking line worth a damn. I'm afraid that we fucking trade him and he ends up the next fucking Brett Favre.
I honestly think Blaine Gabbert at his best is a good Chad Henne.
No, Chad Henne sucks.
Yeah, I know, but I will say this, though. Chad Henne had that same line Blaine Gabbert did and didn't throw more interceptions than he did touchdowns. I mean, I'm not saying Henne's a Pro Bowl by now.
No, he's not.
But what I will say is that Chad Henne won 4 games with one of the worst teams of all time and one of the worst defenses of all time until the end of the field.
I've seen him when he had time. He can hit a target. He can hit a fucking...
Right.
A bullseye. I seen when he hit fucking Zach Miller in between fucking 3 defenders, which is highly and nearly impossible to do, and he did it like nothing.
Right, and I get that too, man. I know exactly what you're saying, man. Like I said, I was all about Gabbert coming into this year, but man, we're going out. You got to think about Aaron Rodgers has the worst line probably in the NFL. And the guy just makes it work.
Roethlisberger has a pretty bad line as well.
Yeah, and another guy that he did decline last year, but everybody thinks he had such a bad year. I think he had a pretty damn good year this year with what he had.
Yeah, exactly.
Who the fuck, Jesus, the guy got hit. Him and Rodgers got hit the most, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. And they were both probably sacked the most, but... Yeah, but
I don't even know who the fuck this dude is, and... I'm just against taking people that people don't know who they are, and the only reason is the level of competition.
Absolutely. And I'm with you on that, and I'm going to tell you right now, I have to, other than Teddy Bridgewater, and that's the thing, and I would be like, don't take it.
I wouldn't take Bridgewater. I personally am one of them kind of people that I would not take He's too overhyped. I understand what he did the final game. but everybody gets lucky a game or two. When he's played top level competition, other than that bowl game, he didn't look that good. He did not look elite. If a guy's going to be, a top 3 guy or even a top guy, he has to be elite, in my opinion, and he don't look elite.
Yeah, I know they talk about his intangibles. It sucks. I'm on both sides of that fence. I watched like 4 games of his, and it was a great game.
But here's the deal, okay? You had RG3, and I understand that Bridgewater's not a running quarterback. That's not the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, he's a passer.
Okay, you had RG3, had shit for wide receivers other than Kendall. I think his name is Kendall Wright. Okay, other than him.
You're talking about over at Owen College.
Yeah, over at Baylor.
Yeah.
He had shit for wide receivers other than Wright. Okay? And he kept on single-handedly winning games. What did he do in the NFL? Nothing. That means nothing to me.
Yeah, he did. He turned the Washington around in that year, but he also,
Is he worth the pick he was taken now? No, and that's the thing. If Bridgewater was a late first round pick or a top second, yes, I'd take him in a heartbeat. And originally I'm like, originally I was going to take him top 3, but then I was watching his clips. I was watching certain games, and I'm like, no, this is not an elite guy. I'm sorry, it's not.
Yeah, you're right. I know exactly what you're saying, man. It's such a shitty thing because
I'm not trying to cut you off, but I actually wanted fucking the Jags to draft Geno because I thought he had something special. He didn't have a shit to work with, and he was making things happen. Though this season wasn't, going well. Do I regret, thinking that no, I don't, because I still think Geno has the it factor if he gets his head on right. If he doesn't, then forget about it.
He needs receivers, dude. Santana Moss is well past his prime, and he doesn't even play anymore. Santana Moss is the biggest bitch in the history of.
Correct.
Right, Santana, right?
I'm not 100%. You could be wrong.
Anyway, whatever. Anyway, when he was with Pittsburgh, he made that unbelievable catch when Pittsburgh won those 2 in those 4 years, What was that, like 06?
Yeah.
And, motherfucker, now in the Jets, like...
Yeah, well, Steven's pretty good. Well, when he came out of draft, he was good.
He dropped him. Yeah, but anyway...
Yeah, he reminds me of Edwards from Cleveland.
Oh, Braylon.
Yeah. He hell of a receiver, but he had a bad case of freaking dropsies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because remember when they had when Jets when they were running, they had Braylon Edwards and they had Plaxico Burress.
No, they didn't pick him. Geno was sitting there in the 3rd round.
Oh, 3rd? I thought he went in the 2nd.
No.
At least the 1st or
No. No, he got passed over, and then he got passed over again. That's why I'm like, how can you keep on passing over this guy?
Yeah, well, I know one thing, though, like, for us, with him, man, we had to get, there's no way we could have justified drafting.
Yeah, I understand that. The thing is, we're going to go, I'm going to go back to the quarterback. I don't see a top 10 quarterback right now. I don't.
I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm with you.
I don't see one. There's a lot of potential. Don't get me wrong. Bridgewater's got a hell of a lot of potential. But Jacksonville has enough water, has enough bridges, and has enough water and don't need a Bridgewater.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm with you on that, man. But I do tell you, though, man, that little Manziel kid is fucking intriguing.
I'm going to tell you the best quarterback in this class in my eyes. You're going to think I'm nuts, and everybody's going to think I'm nuts. But I don't care because I'm going to stick by my guns.
Yeah, me too. When I tell you mine, you're going to think I'm an idiot, too.
I am going with the guy from Clemson, Boyd.
Oh, Todd Boyd?
Boyd.
Yeah.
When it came to big games, he got the job done. But they
Florida State, except for Florida State.
Yeah, well,
Shit on himself.
well, you can't win them all.
Yeah, I know, you're right. Well, he looked bored. Did you watch the Senior Bowl today?
No, I did not see the Senior Bowl.
He didn't do too good. Actually, all the North guys all of them. What was it? Let's see, Boyd,
Yeah.
small school, failed 2-6, Morris from Miami, that's Stephen Morris. He's talking about overhyped. My God, that kid was overhyped last year. And Todd Boyd and David.
He won't go to Houston. I'll tell you that much. He won't go to Houston.
No, absolutely. Oh no, I don't think he will. Absolutely will not. No. My thing is if he's still available though, which is a
Well, I understand that. If I were Jacksonville, I know how bad we need a quarterback right now. But I'd wait for the guy from Oregon to come out next year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a couple coming. I mean, Winston's going to come out too. You got Winston, the guy from Oregon. You got.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the other reason why I don't like Bridgewater, and I think he's a hell of a person, and why he wouldn't be a fit for Jacksonville. He's not a running quarterback. That's the problem. Look at it.
Need one.
With the line we have, since Garrard, no one back there, no one has done shit.
No.
Not Gabbert, not Henny, not none of them.
You're exactly right.
Who else did we had? We had the guy that came off the tractor.
Oh my God, dude! You're talking about oh my God.
We had Lionheart, didn't do shit.
Oh yeah, Leinert. Oh, Leinert was here too. I didn't know he was here. I know we had Carson Palmer's little player.
Well, yeah, not this year. We didn't have a line, but I'm talking about since since Garrard's been gone.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a slew. I mean,
We've had a ton of quarterbacks, and the same result. We need a running quarterback and not Tebow.
Yeah. Oh, dude, thank you for saying that, man. Because you know what? Me and you have talked now a grand total of a good, solid 2 or 3 hours on the phone.
I won't. He's a joke. He, as far as an NFL quarterback, he is a joke.
That's a beautiful thing. Hey, here's the thing, though, man. That's a beautiful thing. That means that talk is starting to dissipate. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's still people here that want that to happen. It's ridiculous. There's signs in people's yards saying, Tebow, why not? And they're like mad.
Yeah, well, I mean,
doing them on Thursdays.
They had them outside of the stadium, and they had like 5 people show up, and then like 12 kids. I was laughing my ass off. And they
Morgan and Morgan. You see the Morgan and Morgan commercial?
Yeah. I mean, they're trying to involve. They had a petition to, the president.
It's so ridiculous, dude. That was the biggest. You know what, man? You know how embarrassing that is as a diehard Florida Gator fan. You know how fucking embarrassing.
He didn't win shit though. That's the problem. I mean, I'm not trying to. I mean, in college, he was a hell of a quarterback for what they did.
Yeah.
But really, if you think about it, Harvin freaking, bailed them out a lot of times.
Yeah, but I mean, he also did a lot of shit himself. I mean, this kid fucking was amazing college guy. System.
Yeah. He was a heck of a system quarterback. He deserved the win the Heisman and everything. But as a throwing go ahead.
I'm sorry, man. I say just like Urban Meyer can eat a dick somewhere too. So with him talking bad mouth in Florida, I wouldn't send my kid there.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But you're winning fucking championships. Guess what, man? That shit gets put.
Yeah, exactly.
You gonna pull Brandon Spikes off the field? Because Brandon Spikes is still, he's played great. So he's been playing for a while, pretty good for New England. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's just, for a third second.
Well, he means that figuratively speaking. He's not saying that if you live out there, you're a moron just because you follow the Gators. He is saying if you follow, Tebow just because he was a Gator, and say, well, he belongs in Jacksonville just because he was a Gator due to, his old college career, and did not follow him in the NFL, which the Broncos just had a phenomenal defense at that time. And there's a reason why they got rid of, Tebow for Manning.
Yeah, dude. I mean, do you even have to ask that question what?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
for fuck's sake.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Jets did Tebow wrong. They lied to him and everything. Okay.
They absolutely did.
But New England, if you can't beat out Mallet, you have an issue. Mallet sucks.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But I'm interested to see how he does after, if they gave him a world somewhere else. I think that's.
You know what though? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
He's, you know what I mean? Like, Mallet really is, like, Mallet's what we wish we could have done with Jabbers. You know what I mean? Get behind him.
Yeah.
Everybody makes him see that. And they're like, oh, he helped him out along. We got to learn. Dude, anytime you want, or anytime anybody wants to, like, find a...
Well, the crazy thing is, with Brady, people think, Brady was good. Yeah, the thing about it is Brady was good in college. It was just some politics, and I forgot who the main quarterback was there, but it was, a big thing from the city, as far as like politics. That's the reason why he was not the starter.
Right? Didn't Henny come after Brady? You're a Michigan guy at first, weren't you?
Henny sucked. Henny sucked. Henny sucked in college. Brady was good in college, but Brady was behind another quarterback. I can't think of his fucking name. And he was, it was all politics.
Yeah,
so.
I got you. I remember Henny beating Florida his last year at Michigan. They beat us in a Citrus Bowl.
Yeah.
They sucked for 3 years in a row. They sucked. And you have maybe 1,000. I'm just paraphrasing and making it like,
But I mean that's everywhere. I mean, don't get me wrong. Out here in Tennessee, out in Knoxville, there are what?
Is everybody a Vanderbilt fan now?
No. Believe it or not, they've got a fan base that sticks by their team. I mean, granted, the city used to be all orange. It's not no longer because they just haven't been winning. However, their stadium is never, it's on pay-per-view for a reason. Their stadium is never not packed. But that's just like we're going to get off college. I think it's a good time to get off college football until we talk about, the draft in a bit. And we can go as long as you can stay up or as long as the phone works, till it dies.
I'm sorry. I keep you tracking it. My bad.
But, the whole thing about it is people, knock on Jacksonville about fucking, attendance. For a team that's lost 5 fucking years in a row, or is this 6 now? They've lost from 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 6 years in a row. Okay, they've had shitty teams. To still have attendance records of 50,000 people is fucking phenomenal. I don't give a shit.
Especially when you have the biggest, we have like the top 5 biggest stadiums in the number 1 smallest market, right?
Exactly. But I mean, you have 1 million people in that one city, though.
Right, and, the thing is, everybody sees the fucking part. But I know the...
Yeah, exactly.
They keep going back to that shit, and then all they do after that, they go to the park. Oh, what's the other part? I'm like, yeah, if you unparked it, that stadium is almost...
Exactly. It was originally made for fucking Florida and Georgia.
Georgia, and that's what in the rest of the country they know about the world's biggest cocktail party, right?
Mm-hmm.
They understand is that you talk about a money maker, that motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss that. There's so much things I wanted to do in Jacksonville. I didn't get to do. I felt I was robbed. I felt that my circumstances. I was forced to leave, even though I did not want to leave.
Right.
However, my old lady didn't like it that much because it smelled like the sewer. But me being into like NASCAR and racing as well, I love that. I love that smell. It's just me. So, and that's nothing against Jacksonville, but it's not the most air freshener friendly. You know.
Right. Well, it also depends a lot where you live. This is a giant city. Like, you know, if you're out close to the woods, it's beautiful. It smells fine. It smells like the woods.
But if you're by the beach, you can definitely smell it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, especially where we got Mayport. There's two fairly large Navy bases here.
Yeah.
You smell those beans. Smell those coffee beans.
That
the natural house is fucking getting down and dirty, man.
That's where I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna say that before we even went down to Jacksonville, never been to a Jags game, and I'm gonna give big shout outs to Patty. The movers fucked up my shit. They literally stole our Xbox, and
man, I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed for my city for this, man.
And no, it's not Jacksonville movers. It was the fucking New Yorkers, as usual. Them fucking, I don't have nothing against New Yorkers, but I really don't care for those in the city that think they're better than everybody else, and that do scheming shit. This was a company that hired another company to do the cross-moving, but they never informed us.
Right.
So it was handed from one person to the next, so you can't tell who's responsible. But when I tell you how pissed off I was, we didn't have cable for fucking 2 weeks. My TV was sitting there, right? It looked like it had a scratch on it. I go to fucking put the fucking cable TV on. The whole fucking TV's busted.
Oh, man.
And this was one of them fucking Vizio 32-inch, high-definition 3D TVs that was also a smart TV that I spent over an hour to go fucking grab at a Walmart, and I had to search every fucking Walmart in Connecticut at that time to find the fucking TV. And then you leave it to the fucking movers, and they fucked it up. And then they're not responsible. Then they're like, all right, well, leave a fucking, you can leave an email on our support on our website. The problem is there is no fucking support link.
Jesus, man. That's some shitty, that's not a good way to move into a new life somewhere.
But anyway, Patty, turned around and said, you know what, I got extra tickets. Why don't you never been? I'll take care of you.
Right on. So
she, me and my son went. There were only two. We went, and she, I give her, big props. So anyway, we went to see the game. My son had a bunch, had a blast, doing all the pre-activities, which I've been to other stadiums, and I will say honestly, Jacksonville, as far as like more things to do, gives the kids more things to do than other stadiums does.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, they got the little experience thing out there outside of the stadium. You can kick a field goal, and you can do the 40-yard dash.
Yep. Yep.
All right. They shoot them out, and they'll have those people set up out there until halftime, and they'll volunteer to all people. This is that's the best part about it, man.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, anyway, but you're right. Like, they do a lot of, really cool, activities outside of the stadium, and once you walk in.
Yeah.
Jacksonville is awesome, dude. That guy fucking, he's the best mascot in professional sports, man. There's nobody that can touch that guy.
Exactly. What I was going to say is my son, he's older. He's 13. He's going to be 14, but he's just small for his age. But he still likes the bounce house and shit, and he was in there, but he wasn't the only older kid in there. There were many other ones that were in there. And, he liked, doing a lot of different things, and he liked holding the friggin' Jaguar shield in the photo gallery.
Yeah.
And, taking pictures and shit, and he had a blast. He got all kinds of, free shit. And what happened was we didn't have any money at that time because it was, we just spent all this money to move down and, and everything. And all we had was, Patty gave us, they gave us a ticket for free hot dogs. So we had a free hot dog. So And then, Patty gave us another coupon for a hot dog, so we had 2 free hot dogs. So anyway, we're up at the friggin', here's the amazing thing. This is how cool fucking Jacksonville is. We're up at the fucking, where, you get the hot dogs and shit, right? Like the main entrance. And there's this guy that works like, I guess he's like part of, I'm not sure if he's like security or, what do you call the people that clean up? He's part of the fucking team.
The custodial dudes?
Yeah, the custodial dudes.
Yeah.
He says, he waves me over. He's like, come here. I thought I was in trouble. I'm like, hey, I'm not doing anything. I'm just trying to get my son a hot dog, right? He gives us a fucking coupon for a fucking free hot dog, fries, and a soda.
Yeah, dude, they got those meal vouchers that they have. All those things are awesome.
Yeah, well, that's what I think it was, a meal voucher. But we were so lucky because we didn't have a shit. But anyway, the only part that I didn't like was the seating was way high, and I'm afraid of fucking heights to begin with. So the whole time I'm sitting there, and I'm like, am I going to fall? And then we got destroyed. But we had a blast.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, man, in that stadium, and that's what I love about it the most, there's really not a bad seat in that stadium. I don't think other South, it'd all be covered up in a 301-foot fucking TV screen.
Yeah.
The biggest in the world, son.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to miss that. Well, I'm not going to miss it because I'm still going to drive down to Jacksonville. There's no way I'm not. But the thing is, Jacksonville is so cool. I was on the phone with the ticket office, right? Because I thought I was staying in Jacksonville. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to see about getting tickets, the season tickets next year for, me, my boy, and probably, my old lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking to the lady from the ticket office, said, well, I just moved to, Connecticut. I went to one game. I was, like, way up in the fucking upper decks and whatnot, but I just enjoyed myself and everything, and I had a blast. So, so she connected me to this other guy, this was on an email and shit. And next thing you know, he's like, well, we really want you to enjoy the experience out in Jacksonville, since you're, not from Jacksonville and everything. And since you've been a diehard fan since day one because you were answering questions, I was quizzing you, and you passed them all. Most people don't, but you passed all the questions, right? He said, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get you seats better. So we had basically not front row, but we were like 6 rows back from the front.
Nice.
On the Jaguars. They paid for it and whatnot.
That's badass.
But anyway, I want to say this. When you were speaking about Cap before, Cap is a phenomenal dude.
Yeah.
He runs, the BCB, the Bold City Brigade, and, he's also on the Bold City Brigade football show, which we're not trying to compete with in any way, shape, or form. I told Alfie we were, but that was just to piss him off because I don't like Alfie. He don't like me. It all goes back to he thought Mike Skywalker was the best wide receiver ever, and he was garbage. So
Skywalker, who's that?
Mike Walker.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sims Walker. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mike Sims Walker. Yes.
Yeah, I know you're saying.
Yeah, he thought he was the best since sliced bread and everything.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he had that one like halfway decent year, but he wasn't. Man, I tell you what, man, I don't know about you, but I am very, very excited.
Shorts?
No, not shorts. Shorts is a good number 2. We still need a number 1. Blackman's not going to make it.
No, Blackman will be fine.
No, I know he's great, but I just don't think he's going to be able to keep himself clean.
Think Jimmy, actually don't think Jimmy Smith. That's a bad example.
No, don't think Jimmy.
Yeah, don't think Jimmy.
Jimmy, if you're listening, son, I love you to death, man. I love you to death. Somebody needs to put you in contact with that young man, because that kid is so fucking nasty when he wants to be.
Okay. All right. I'm going to let you get back to that thought in 1 second. I just want to say what I want to say about Cap real quick and what he's doing. I think what Cap is doing, with this Bold City Brigade is phenomenal. I think the Tail Street Hooligans are phenomenal. I went to a tailgate, on the one where the Jaguars hooked us up with tickets or whatever. Which people are going to hear this and be pissed off and be like, well, I never got tickets and shit. Well, hey, you didn't live cross country and fucking have to deal with paying outrageous prices to see the game. You could just turn the TV on,
Right.
But the whole thing about it is this. Cap, we had a tremendous opportunity to interview him when we were still Teal Time Radio. And he was telling us, he loved the fact that we were Jags fans and everything. And we met him in person, and we met Eric, who's awesome. And we met a bunch of the people from the Bold City Brigade, as well as the Teal Street Hooligans. We tailgated with them. We brought them food and everything. And, gave them some beer. And we did the circle up. I mean, we didn't go in the circle because I was too worried about my son. I had to keep on checking back up on him and whatnot, and I was like the new one, and I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, she got drunk. There's videos of her like smacking like a vodka plastic bag and shit, or whatever the fuck was in it. And because she always says she don't drink, and I'm like, haha, you fucking liar,
No shit.
But
That is a fun ass place to go party down at, man. And they freaking shotgun beers while they run in a circle.
Exactly. And then they have the most amazing thing, because I've been to a lot of different stadiums, and I've watched Jags games, but that was away, and it's different,
Yeah, they do the tunnel walk, man. That's the shit.
Yeah, the tunnel walk. There are literally 1,000+ people lined in a fucking single fucking formation, or a double formation, or whatever the fuck, and going singing Jaguar songs all the way to the fucking stadium, and everybody is all fucking. If people say that the city of Jacksonville doesn't care about, they're full of shit.
Oh yeah, dude, we love this team, man. All of it, dude.
There is no other stadium I've been where they do that. None.
I tell you, this is kind of like, my dad. I grew up with, we're the first generation to grow up.
Yeah.
Like I was, like I said, I was a young man when they got here. I was really young. I was under 10 years old, and this is, before his.
Mm-hmm.
And
I remember him.
And but it was funny because that game, I think I told this. I don't know if I remember if I told this last week.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, we're going to this big important game, and dude, man, back then.
Yeah, and if somebody were to pick up the history of Jacksonville football, they'd understand why.
Exactly. And, I mean, because, first of all, they made history their second year. They made history pretty much anything they did after they went to the playoffs their second year.
Both teams did. Both the Carolina Panthers and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right, and that's the one thing, all of my fellow Jaguar brethren, doesn't matter how old you are.
I will say this. I love the Tennessee Vols. Okay? With that being said, I cannot stand the Titans. Cannot.
Yeah, that's almost like in your blood as a Jaguar fan.
Well, I don't like the Colts, I don't like the Texans, and I don't like the Titans. I don't care what anybody says. I'm never going to like any of them unless one of them teams go to a different division. I'm never going to like them. I don't believe a true football fan. Here's the thing that bothered me. Okay, I was on the Jaguars forum, and there's this dude that is overseas that's one of the admins, right? And he's like, well, it's no big deal if you don't hate a rival. It's no big deal. It's just a game anyway. It's not supposed to be emotional. I'm like, you're not a true football fan. You are not a true football fan if you're not upset if a rival beats you. If you don't hate on a rival, you're not a true football fan. Yes, you may have friends that love, your rival team. But at the end of the day, if you don't hate your rivals, you're not a true football fan. You just watch the game.
Yeah, I completely agree. Here's the thing, too. Like, I'm not saying, and I know you, and I'm pretty sure this was.
Yeah. I'm not gonna get in a fist fight over a game, but at the same time,
Yeah.
there's a lot of motion.
Oh, absolutely, and if you're, like you said, if you're a true football fan, you still can distinguish the difference between raw and those good games.
Yeah.
Shit on somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. People, have to have respect, but this is just this generation. But I understand the emotion. Being from up north, professional football and not college football is huge.
Yeah, that's your life.
It's huge. Don't get me wrong. Back in Connecticut, UConn is, known for basketball, but their football team is respected. However, I don't care. You could put fucking the Florida Gators. You could put the Tennessee Volunteers. You could put Ohio State. You could put Michigan. You could put any of them fucking top fucking rated, teams in Connecticut. And I'm going to tell you one thing. It will not take over the Patriots, the Giants, the Jets, the Bills. It just won't.
Right. And you probably put Philly in there. Yeah.
Well, of course, the Eagles. I'm an ex-Eagle fan. Well, I still watch them from time to time. I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, you definitely put Philly in there.
Yeah, I didn't live, but I lived up in upstate, a little bit upstate New York, not like Buffalo upstate, but a buddy of mine lived there.
Yeah, of course I have.
Yeah, and we went to Hartford and stayed for a weekend, and at I guess it's called the Comcast Center.
Mm-hmm.
There, my Gator stuff there. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. It's all about pro football. See, but that's what Jacksonville needs, because I'll tell you one thing: I don't want the Jags to leave at all, but if the Jags were to leave, Connecticut would kill literally to have Jacksonville. They'd kill to have any of the other NFL teams in Connecticut because they don't have a football team. Just like any other state that does not have a football team in their state would. Outside of the true diehard Jacksonville Jaguar fans, outside of the fan base, right? People don't understand, and even some of the fans don't understand how privileged and lucky they are to have a team in your backyard.
Yeah, you're right, man.
It's such an honor. Even if they lose 16 games in a row and they have 5 years of losing in a row, that still beats not having anything. And here's the...
You couldn't be more right. You could not be more right, man.
Here's the funny part, okay? Everybody knows the New England Patriots. I'm not a Patriots fan, okay?
Right.
But you know Jordan Todman, who plays for us right now, correct?
Yeah, he's a UConn kid.
Okay. You know Donald Brown, who plays for, the Colts or whatever.
Right. Is that a UConn kid as well?
Correct. There's been a lot of people, great from UConn that came out of UConn. However, here's the story that most people don't know. I'm gonna tell it. I understand this is Jags, but I can't, not talk about where I'm from as well.
Man, please. Hey, let me get my s'mores ready, my popcorn, and my premium jelly, and a Playboy.
All right. So anyway, there was a time where the Patriots were going to move. Okay? And I understand they're just in Massachusetts. It's not far from Connecticut. Connecticut did not care. They just lost the Hartford Whalers. Remember the Whalers? The hockey team?
No, I do not.
Okay, they were a hockey...
I remember Bob Marley, but I don't remember...
well, the Hartford Whalers were a hockey team in Connecticut. They just lost them.
NHL?
Yeah, NHL. Okay, we didn't have a team out here. And, the Patriots were... They did not want to give them another deal. The stadium lease was up. They did not want to give them another deal.
Now, did Kraft own it?
I'm not sure if the Krabs owned it at that time or not.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
But Connecticut literally was giving them the keys to the fucking state. Was offering them everything under the sun to come to Connecticut.
Nice. Strippers and
You name it. Tom Brady or whoever. Yeah, I believe it was Tom Brady who was the quarterback at that time, but he was younger. You know, could have had everything he could imagine. They didn't care, and people out in Florida would be like, "Well, why though? Why would they give a fuck? Because we didn't have a fucking team."
Yeah, you got tired of driving into the city.
Correct.
Or the Buffalo, damn near to Canada to freeze their fucking balls off.
If the Patriots ended up going to Connecticut, and the deal did not fall through, you would not be able to find a Patriot ticket at all, not through the scalper, not through anything. It would just be, it would be like Denver. You know how they have the long waiting list? It would be the same thing.
Like Green Bay and shit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we're so much into football. And I mean, a lot of people that are Giants fans, Jets fans, and whatnot would have switched to the team that was in their state because they want to support. Now, when it comes to music, it's a totally different story. They're at each other's throats. But when it comes to sports, you know, everybody wants that fucking home fucking team. That's why Jacksonville doesn't realize how fucking lucky they are. But then you have, but then again, you have Miami out there. You got Tampa Bay, and you know what I'm saying? It's different.
Hey, look at San Diego, man. Look at their problems. Look at Cincinnati's problems. You know?
Yeah.
San Diego. That's what makes no sense to me. And Oakland. Oakland has. Look at this shit. This is what pissed me off earlier this year. When down here we got the Mike Dempsey show.
Yeah.
Now with 30 years ago.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. LA does not want a team. I understand media says LA wants a team. LA won't support a team. Don't they get that? The Raiders were there. Right? The Rams were there.
The Chargers?
Exactly. LA can't. They're Laker fans. They're basketball fans.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they're basketball. I mean, that's just the bottom line. They're basketball fans. So these football developers, like, yeah, we got all this land. Yeah, we got this plan. It won't work. It didn't work before. So you're just gonna have history repeat itself, and then it not work. You get put a fucking team in a different state, like fucking that don't have a fucking team. And I'm not necessarily saying Connecticut. I'm just saying a different fucking state. I don't care if it's fucking South Dakota. You know?
Wyoming.
Yeah, exactly. Give somebody else fucking who will actually, you know, care. They think just because Hollywood's there, that's going to help. No, it's not. The attendance in San Diego has sucked as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. San Diego's still having blackout issues.
That just tells me they're just not into football. But what I was saying about going back to Jacksonville is they just need the football mentality that, you know, that's up north, which is the NFL. Nothing against college. Florida Gators is a phenomenal team. I'm not a Florida Gator fan per se, but they are a phenomenal team, and I'm not going to knock on them. But in order for Jacksonville to sustain in Jacksonville, regardless of the ironclad lease or whatever, the fans have to be Jaguar fans.
Exactly. 100%. They got disassociated college, 100% disassociated with fucking pro, man. That is one of the big problems, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Specifically in the South, too. I mean, you know, the West, like you were just saying, it's because there's Hollywood there. Those motherfuckers don't get too about it.
Yeah.
They want to go to an air-conditioned...
Exactly. And I'm going to go a little deeper. I just put that LA, or we just put that LA, you know, point to rest, okay?
All right.
It's not going to happen. Another thing that's not going to happen, I don't care how many games we play out there, it's not going to happen, is out in fucking overseas over in England. England does not give a fuck about American football. You're not going to force them to give a fuck about American football. They don't give a fuck about American football.
No, they don't, my man. You know, and that's one thing. Oh, my God.
I have hundreds of friends on Xbox. Yeah, I know. It's Xbox. But I talk to the, people all over the fucking world, okay? And they tell me the same thing. And even when I played games on the computer, like, Gangster Big House and Mafia Wars, and the only reason I'm mentioning names, not necessarily to give them plugs, but so people know that, these are games that people from UK and all different countries play. When you look on their fucking boards, it ain't about fucking American football. It's about the fucking World Cup. It will be about the World Cup, and it's about fucking rugby. They don't want American football. Yes, it's nice for them to go to a few games, but it's like fucking a candy store. Yes, it's nice to have candy, but sooner or later you have enough candy, you're going to rot your tooth.
You hit the fucking head, dude. You hit it on the fucking head, man. Exactly. And my, if you,
No, I did not know that.
He's just a local guy. Anyway, another real nice guy that's on the local sports talk out here, and he works for the news channel for the TV thing. He was and you get to go do all that shit on somebody else's net, dude. And he was asking people at pubs, interviewing them with his phone.
Exactly. And I understand. Go ahead.
I mean, they'll go to the games, and then there'll be some English people, and they make all that money. But like you just said, they're going to do the first 4 games.
Yeah, and the local TV will cancel a football game for World Cup in a heartbeat.
Oh, fuck. I mean, not even, dude, honestly, think about it. Not even for the World Cup. Dude, Man U versus Chelsea that will rule no matter what.
I'm a wrestling fan. I'm not a WWE fan, but I am a TNA fan. And I know for a fact, TNA wrestling, as silly as it may seem, would go over an NFL game out there. It's that crazy. Yes, believe it or not. They have a channel called Sky Sports out in the UK, and it plays like all the freaking every week. It plays the TNA fucking wrestling show every week.
Ray, you a wrestling fan, Ray?
Yes, I am.
Oh, dude, you know what, man? I just got a whole nother respect for you, my man. You would love my dad's bar at his house. My dad's a total bachelor's house.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, Jim the Anvil Lionheart and.
Yep, the original Heart Foundation. Yeah.
Right, and then what's his name? Ole and Art, Anderson, the old school 4-horse.
Yep, WCW. I got you.
Yeah, and TNA, is that Bischoff? Is that still? Didn't he own the TNA?
No. Dixie Carter supposedly owns it. It's a great program. It will never be as respected as the WWE out here due to the fact of the tradition of the WWE. Even though the WWE nowadays is just the same old record every freaking year. It's ridiculous. I don't even watch it. I don't. I used to watch WWE when it was WWF. When there were the original Stone Cold and there was The Rock, and going all the way back to Hogan. Everybody was a Hogan fan. Matter of fact, I even had the fucking remember? Actually, you were probably a little too young, but you probably seen it on like fucking YouTube videos or whatever. They had the old commercial with Hogan. He had the vitamins, he had the jump rope, and the whole set. I owned it all.
Nice.
Okay, and I loved Hogan, but my main thing was the Ultimate Warrior. Most people don't know that the Ultimate Warrior they have now is not the original Ultimate Warrior. He died.
Oh, yeah. He died like fucking... He died before Ravishing Rick Rude died, didn't he?
Yep. He died years ago. This new guy is not the original Ultimate Warrior.
Absolutely not. Yeah, because he'd be like 60 right now, wouldn't he?
Well, not only that, but the original Ultimate Warrior was a short shit. This dude's a fucking tall fuck. How does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember, I'm glad that we're taking this into wrestling. Man, this has been an awesome fucking conversation, dude.
Hey, man, this is a broadcast, not just a conversation. There's probably going to be a shitload of people that are going to listen to it because it's over an hour long. It's almost... We're approaching, I don't know, like hour and a half, or a little over an hour and a half we've been doing this.
Fucking A, man. And I love it. You know what I love, too, is that we barely even touched on what we wanted to. We just kind of freestyled it. Like
Exactly. Well, I mean, we're a Jags fan, show, rather than a pure, Jaguars analysis show. So.
Right, but the beautiful part is that we can take it into all kinds of different directions, and that's what I try to do with the podcast.
Yeah.
And him and the American Dream, I met all three of those motherfuckers when I was like 6 years old at JAS. When my dad was coming in from Buffalo, they were coming in to
Monday Nitro with the original WCW. Yeah.
Right, and I remember watching with my stepdad. This is like at the height of the NWO and Diamond Dallas Page put it out.
That's funny that you mentioned Sting, because I was about to, say something about Sting. But yeah.
That motherfucker, I remember that shit. He always come in with the bat and shit.
Yeah, he's still coming out with the bat.
Yeah, and then he joined then they had the Wolfpack and he got all gay and shit. And then, sorry, that's horrible to say, but that's funny.
You can't say that. Somebody will get offended.
I know, that's horrible. Like I said earlier, I can't stand the fag word, but I do sometimes use the gay in a bad text.
I do too. And my opinion is everybody gets offended by something. So I say I'm offended by the fact that you're offended.
Yeah, I love that. I know. Well, my excuse is like, dude, I got 2 gay aunts, man. That's cool.
Yeah, so.
So I love, man. I watched the dark match, before they go on live. I watched Goldberg before Goldberg became anything.
They dogged him. That's what pissed me off. They dogged him.
Yeah, what was it? Didn't he lose because Scott Hall did the taser thing on his back or whatever?
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about WCW. When he went to WWF/WWE, they dogged him. They showed this hard dude, granted, he's got a soft side, but you don't show nothing but videos of a dude, like, fucking cooking for people and shit. That's right. Not cool.
Yeah, he was, when I was a kid, man, he was me and my dad's favorite, dude. I fucking loved Goldberg.
I love him to this day. I actually sent him a tweet, and he actually retweeted. I said, I'm going to buy, the new WWE game, not because I'm a WWE fan, but because I can take you and beat the shit out of every other wrestler.
Yeah, dude, I remember he'd just come in and fucking obliterate people, he'd come and spear people and just the guy wouldn't even say.
I don't know. I've never understood that.
I mean, come on, leg drop, dude. Like, at least Ric Flair got creative with the figure 4. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. That was, wasn't that the hard...
I'm not sure, but Ric Flair did patent a figure 4.
And then, I used to like that. I mean, like, Sting had some cool ones. Remember, the Scorpion Death Drop was pretty badass. It was like a reverse deep speed.
Exactly. And the thing I like about Sting, I'm not trying to cut you off, but I'm ADHD. And if I don't say what I gotta say when I gotta say it, I won't remember it. All right. The thing I like about Sting, and the reason I respect Sting, he refuses to go to WWE. He refuses.
Good for him, man.
He was, in WCW, and then when WCW got bought, he didn't want anything to do with WWE. He waited. Yeah, he went to Japan and like a bunch of other places. He waited and then signed with TNA. If TNA were to disassemble tomorrow, he would, if he stayed in wrestling, which he probably, at some point, he's going to retire. He's old just like Hogan is,
Yeah, but he was good, man. Sting still was pretty fucking good.
But, yeah, exactly. He's in great shape. But, he would either go to Ring of Honor, or there's a new wrestling coming out. Jeff Jarrett and Toby Keith, the country singer, are working on bringing on a new promotion. He would go over there. He would not step. I don't believe Sting would ever step a foot in WWE. I don't think so.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't understand is even one of the best ever, wrestlers in WWE, Stone Cold, was originally in WCW as Stunning Steve Austin.
Yeah, dude, that is so funny you said that because I was getting ready to drop his name on you, Stunning Steve Austin. My dad has these old Georgia.
What, Gorilla Monsoon?
No, my dad would kill if I didn't know this right now too because
Which company are we talking?
this is I think like NWA. He's like one of the original old school. He's an announcer like Mean Gene style.
Bobby Orton?
No. Oh, fuck, I was gonna pick me up so bad now that I can't remember his damn name. But Gordon Soley? Gordon Soley? Maybe not.
I don't know.
Anyway, I remember growing up watching that shit with my pop, man.
I'm going to cut you off just for a second, and then I'm going to let you finish what you were saying.
Please,
Anybody up north are not from down south. Do not go down south. I'm just doing a little disclaimer. Do not go down south and tell people that wrestling is fake. You will end up in a fight. That's all I had to say.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, there's some people that take that shit really serious.
Exactly. Even to take some of them chair shots.
Yeah, well, even, remember that show back in probably early 2000s, that Tough Enough? They used to do it on MTV.
Yep.
They would brew wrestlers. And it's funny, Jonathan Coachman. Remember Jonathan Coachman?
I remember Coachman.
He's like a pretty well-respected ESPN analyst now. He has like a big-time show now, like on ESPN.
Well, I mean, he knew how to work the mic back in WWF.
Yeah, and he wasn't like a giant guy, but he was a pretty well-built, pretty decent-sized guy. But it's just crazy to see like for the old. Didn't he used to be the 1-2-3 kid, or was that Billy? Was that the Billy kid?
That was Billy Kid, I believe.
Yeah, Billy. What the fuck was that kid's name? That dude. Remember that?
Well, X-Pac was originally Six-Pac for the NWO.
Yeah, that's what I meant. And, he was with China, when they were, like, going off the deep end and all the drugs and she was doing that reality show.
Who was that, China?
China is doing full-on porn now, dude. Like, straight up, like, disgusting Pornhub.com porn. Oh,
wow. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's a little disturbing. She's not nearly as giant as she used to be. She looks like a chick again, but that face is just strange. I don't know. Joni Long.
Yeah. I mean, she's not a bad-looking, chick. She's just not porn material. I would think, like, porn material would be like, she wouldn't go into porn, but I think, like, a Christy Hemme would be like a porn material.
Right. Yeah, or Randy Orton.
I'm not jumping into Chippendales, okay?
I told you I'd make it awkward.
I have a story that's going to blow your mind. And I hope this don't end up media news because this is just a rumor. Okay, I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is not. But when I worked for FedEx back in Connecticut, okay, I worked for FedEx Ground, and I worked with this dude from Massachusetts. And John Cena is from Massachusetts.
Yeah, he's on that new reality show now.
This guy claims that John Cena is bisexual.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
He said he used to go to the same gym that John did, and he's seen him flirting with dudes.
Oh my God, that's a big boy.
So I don't know if it's true or not. And John, if you're ever listening to this, if you are, that's your own thing. I'm just saying it's a rumor. I'm not saying for it to be on National Enquirer tomorrow. I don't want to be responsible for this. I'm just saying it's a rumor. And it just goes to show if that were true, which I highly doubt, but if that were true, you just never know.
Right. WWE has, the Divas thing that they do?
Yeah.
They have all the girls now. They have a show. Is that on Divas? It's on E. The E channel. and my wife watches it from time to time, and I do too.
What,
Anyway,
the Bella?
Maybe, yeah, there's a set of twins. They're both really cute. One has massive rap, the other one has, the average. But they,
Well, the thing about John Cena, I'm not a WWE fan, but if John Cena were to walk in TNA tomorrow, which would never happen, but if he would, I would, support him because I like John Cena. That's why I said, this is a rumor. I don't believe it's true, and if it is, that's his own thing. But, I've always been a fan of Cena. I've been a fan of Cena because he came out and he actually, remember when he first started out?
Yeah, he was into the military style thing.
No, before the military, he was into the rap.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, he's still he's always been in the rap, but then you're right, he made that movie and went full military. But yeah, you're right, he was hip-hop style. He always had the big bag.
Yup, he had the thug life.
Yeah, but he's a dude, though, man. He's a really big freaking.
But he used to do like rap battles, and he was a pretty good MC. I mean, yes, he's a wrestler, but he's a pretty good MC. I'm sure he's won many. Went to MC battles, and I'm sure he's won.
Wow, I didn't know. I didn't understand. I knew he dressed like that. I didn't know he was actually into MCing. That's interesting.
Yeah, he actually has a couple albums. If you YouTube it, he's pretty good. He's pretty damn good. I mean, he's not as far as white rappers Eminem good, but or Bubba Sparks good, but I shouldn't even mention Bubba because there's a lot of hate towards him because he dropped the N-bomb one time, but he's from down south and it happens. So
exactly. What was I gonna say? But then on the show, that reality show, he seems like a real good guy.
Well, it came out, a while back that Vin Diesel was, bi. So, and who would have thought that? That's a big fucking dude.
Yeah, he's a big boy, but it's funny when you see those horrible Fast and Furious movies that he's done. One first one was good.
I was gonna not to jump subjects because I like to do that. But when we were talking about Goldberg, did you know he originally was an NFL player?
Yeah, he went to Georgia and he played for the Falcons.
Yeah.
The Rams, correct? Or was he just played for the Falcons?
He played for the Falcons.
Yeah, I know. He played for the Bulldogs. I think he played the same time as. I want to say he was around the same time as the coach.
And I seen him. He was tearing shit up then, and then he went to wrestling and he was tearing shit up. And then they put him against, Brock Lesnar, and it was an even fight. No, Goldberg would fucking fuck the shit out of Brock Lesnar. He showed when Brock Lesnar went to UFC and got his ass whooped that he ain't shit.
Yeah, well, I will say that, man, Lesnar did go on a good run where he beat some top-level dudes because he's just a mauler.
No.
Well, if you ever get a chance, YouTube that fucking guy, too. He makes Brock Lesnar look tiny. But this is a guy.
I highly doubt. I'm not saying I'd want to fight Lesnar. No fucking way.
Yeah.
I am saying compared to Goldberg, he ain't shit.
Yeah. Yeah, Goldberg fought in Japanese style, too. He actually did real fighting after wrestling I think he did.
Yeah, exactly. He don't need him. WWE made him look like shit. And it was funny, though, because they had Stone Cold freaking stun him in his last match. And Stone Cold is the one that brought freaking Goldberg to wrestling. He actually met him in a bar, this story is, and convinced Goldberg to try out for WCW, not WWE. Or WWF at that time.
Right. What kind of, so you said you're in the what kind of music are you into?
Oh, here we go. I thought we were going to talk everything, man. Look at the website. We have everything from, rappers to, we have at some point, we're going to have a band that sounds like a cross from System of a Down and Evanescence.
Oh, right on.
They're a Canadian band. They're #1 on Reverb Nation as far as Canada, period. I can't think of their name offhand. I mean, if I look on that's no disrespect to the band. If they're listening to this, I apologize. But they're a phenomenal band and whatnot. But our show, as far as like who we're going to have interviews, we all styles. I don't care if you do. I'm a music guru. I love all styles. I have friends that got me big into Jamaican music. I have friends that were into like screaming deathcore. I'll listen to. Punk rock. I like the Offspring and the Blink-182s and the Nirvanas over in grunge and the Blind Melons and Guns N' Roses. I don't care if people say Axl's an asshole. He could be an asshole all fucking day, but he was a badass singer back in the day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
I kind of I listen to just pretty much reggae rock. You know, I get to be like a mix between reggae and rock.
yeah, I love Sublime. I love Wrong Way.
I'm a beat rat, man. I like beat music. I like the relaxed life. You know,
Yeah.
out on the boardwalk and listen to the water and zipping out. And
Well, you had a real famous band out in from Jacksonville, Limp Bizkit.
yeah, Limp Bizkit, Leonard Skinner from here. There's a ton of music from here.
Yeah.
Molly Hatchet, they're Jacksonville guys. Steve Miller Band, a lot of guys from Steve Miller's in from here. 38 Central from here. I mean, it's like crazy old stuff.
And if anybody thinks we're jumping off of the Jags thing that we don't care about the Jags, that's not the case. We're just trying to enjoy. I think Kenny's over here just trying to enjoy being on the radio again.
You're damn right, man. Absolutely. And it makes it easier for future shows where, we can. I know where you're.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not asking you to explain a story for me again. So for future shows, I think it helps so much to learn as much as you can about somebody, especially somebody that you can.
Exactly. We still have an hour and a half. If you can go the entire time, I'm ready.
Actually, I'm gonna warm up some pizza here. I got the midnight munchies, the 3:41 in the morning munchies actually.
Oh, so you're about done?
Yeah, dude. I need to eat some grub. My mouth is so freaking dry right now. I can't even. I need to. Well, that sounds horrible.
Well, don't take off yet. I'm having too much fun, man. Come on now. The audience.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just. I'm just like freaking completely grateful that for you to even have me on last Thursday, and then we keep it going.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this going as long as we can on Saturdays, and hopefully Craig will join us at some point. I'd love to hear about his trip out to Jacksonville and everything.
Oh yeah, dude, you talk about a guy he is a celebrity out here, man. Everybody was going up to that dude. I sent you a direct message.
What pissed me off was originally, and he'll tell you too. Originally, I invited him to come stay with us. For I think it was like Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever. And he was going to do it, but then when shit happened and we had to freaking move, and it sucked. But
yeah, that's the same. When he came here, I try not to.
Yeah.
Eric, man, I always see him doing stuff for the community. Like tons of, I always see him up on there.
Oh yeah. I met him. I explained that before.
And I think that's great too, man. It's admirable to do stuff like, everybody loves going out to the game and having a great time and getting drunk. But when we go to these games.
All right. Well, I have a question for you. Name the time that pissed you off the most during the Jags game.
Pissed me off the most?
Yeah.
Man, there's been quite a few here recently.
Yeah.
To the ground. If there's anything that really drove me nuts, and other than seeing fights at the stadium and bad play calling and
Why? Because he left?
No, not because he left. It's the fashion that he left. The unprofessionalness of basically just thinking he
I agree.
that's the only, and you know what? He gives a shit. You're on the team. That's no fucking athlete. You get paid.
All right, and okay, and one more thing. What was the worst move in the last few years that Jacksonville made other than the obvious one that we picked a punter in the third round?
What's the move?
Yeah, that Gene Smith made.
Man, I mean, there's a couple things that it's hard to,
I would say, as crazy as it sounds, letting that dude, trading that dude because he got caught for, I think it was like weed, to Chicago.
Who's that?
We didn't have a pass rusher, and then you and then you finally find somebody who can rush the quarterback, and then you trade him.
I know, man.
It was the guy that caught Cam Newton. You know how fast Cam Newton is.
Yeah, I know. I'm drawing a blank right now. Let's see. Any place for Chicago?
Correct. I actually met his father out in Jacksonville.
It's not Hayes. No, it ain't Hayward. Damn it. Then I can't even think, man. I can't remember.
Yeah. Unknown.
Blackman was so obvious, though. Blackman was so obvious. Anybody would have picked Blackman. It's a source has been a nice surprise.
Corn picked Blackman. Gene Smith did not pick Blackman. I don't believe it.
Well, I mean, he was technically still the. Well, anybody would have picked him, you know what I mean? But that's kind of Blackman in the act.
Okay, I remember the guy's name. Nate Collins.
Oh, that's good. That's right.
That was.
I forgot he played for us. Man.
But he caught Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't, I'm sorry, but Cam Newton's one of the fastest quarterbacks in the NFL. They're hands down.
And the biggest.
To catch him and sack him, it says something, and then you get rid of him.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean.
That's just a bonehead move. I understand what he did, but regardless, that's a bonehead move.
Gene was a sitting duck. I mean, it's almost, when Gene got in, he had the right.
Garbage.
Reggie Williams.
I don't know. Do you go on the Jags boards at all?
I used to, man.
When?
A year and a half ago, but I don't anymore.
Okay, but when Matt Jones was drafted, them people from Arkansas would not stop. It was like a Tebow.
Yeah. But you know what? It's a shame. He really did have some promise to be a quarterback to come in.
Yeah, but he.
So tall and he was actually pretty fast too. I remember he had like four. He wasn't breakaway lightning fast, but he could get downfield and.
Yes, but Plexico wasn't afraid to get hit. Matt Jones was.
No, Matt Jones was. Well, you got to think, man, it goes back to that quarterback mentality. He was a quarterback, for 4 years or 3 years.
I understand.
But that was, I mean, wasn't he a first or second round draft pick? Because I think we had extras, like we had traded the.
Yeah.
That's risky fucking business.
Well, I mean, it paid off for him, though. I mean, Tebow wasn't a good quarterback, but he helped them that year.
Well, yeah. Well, no, actually, McDaniels was fired. The year that.
Okay.
And anyway, but that was like they were like, really? You put Tebow in the first round? Because he was late in the first, I believe.
Yeah, it was around the 20s. Yeah.
Everybody kept saying Jacksonville's going to pick him up, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I was too. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
And you should have, and this goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You should have seen how many Gator fans were pissed at me, dude. Mad as hell at me because I was open.
I wanted to say this one. We were talking about worst moments. I remember I was working for a Burger King. Yeah, I know, fast food, whatever. Sometimes you gotta, work whatever job, in order to pay the bill until you find something better.
Dude, there ain't no judgment going on over here, my man. I've delivered Chinese food as a second job for 2 years.
But anyway, I was working there, and I was told I can go home. And I was so pissed, I literally wanted to ring because it was this young manager, on that day. And I was promised to go home for the Jags. I don't miss Jags game. I just don't. Okay?
Right.
And I was out here, and I wanted to go home to watch the game. So instead, this asshole decides, okay, well, let's make him stay longer, right? And this was when they played the Titans, okay? I'm sure you're going to remember this game. Okay, I'm listening to the whole game. At the end of the game, I literally kicked the mop bucket in a dining room full of people and did not give a shit.
You walked out.
I did. I was swearing up and down. I didn't care if I lost my job because I didn't want to work to begin with. Vince Young nailed on the Jaguar on the 50-yard line to end the game.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about fucking disgrace. If you're going to nail, he could have nailed anywhere else, but you're going to nail on the actual fucking emblem.
Yeah, that was some bullshit, dude. You know, did you ever hear the story? Now, this is like I don't know if this is a call.
I could hear you.
Okay, good. This is like I don't know if this is a tall tale or a fable, but I heard back when Vince Young was like last 2 years.
No.
I've heard that from multiple stories. I'm like, what the? And why would Vince Young be crying?
At least you're sitting there. You're at the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can go there as much as I used to because now I actually like going and sitting down. And one thing we hit on really, Jacksonville.
You can't do that up north. Not
You can't do that anywhere.
not even at a fucking Bills game. You can't do that.
You can't do that. You can't do it at a Bills game. I'm sure you probably could. You probably couldn't even do it. I mean, what about like a Titans game? I bet you're probably going to at least drop.
You're not going to find $20 seats. No way.
And here, dude, I'm going to tell you this. The last game we didn't go. It's so funny, man. The last 4 games this year, I had.
Oh wow.
And actually that would be 2 seasons ago. My bad. But anyway, yeah.
We beat. This is what I'm going to say about this. Not to cut you off, but that's what I do. We beat the defending AFC champions and swept them. Mm-hmm. Regardless of what year they are, regardless if they were trying to tank, which I don't believe any NFL team tried to, because it would never work. But
You're gonna tell me Andre Johnson, Tank? That guy is still one of the best receivers in the NFL that has nobody throwing it to him.
Yeah, exactly. And
I take Andre Johnson in a heartbeat.
I would too. But the whole thing about it is, regardless of the record this year, we swept them. Mm-hmm. There's an old saying that Ric Flair said. Now, you said your dad was into, wrestling. Mm-hmm. In order to be the man, you have to beat the man. Well, we swept the man.
That's right.
So regardless of everything else that happened, doesn't matter. We swept the defending AFC South champions.
Fucking right we did. And that was, I tell you what, man, and I wore my clothes that night, dude. That place was...
No, unfortunately, I wasn't able to see that. I wish I could have.
Oh my God! Well, see, the thing is, we got aircraft carriers here at Mayport, which is close as shit, and then...
I remember that. I remember it bounced off of Walker and went right into Thomas.
Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. We were at the other end of the field, that thing hit, and all of a sudden we saw the north end where the DC...
Oh, yeah.
Peyton in that last year playing for the Colts, and he got hurt next year. But, man, that was unbelievable, too. So
hell, I got the party with, in my eyes, as far as, like, fans, as big as, Cap is, Mm-hmm. I got the party, which he invited anyone to come over, but I took advantage of the opportunity. Not of him, but of the opportunity. And I got the party with Charlie. I'm sure you know who Charlie is.
Charlie, from the BCB?
No, the guy that wears the Jaguar paint.
Oh my God, dude, There's a couple guys that do that. Is it an older guy with a big beard?
It sure is.
Okay. I know my wife's got a picture with that guy.
I got to party with him at his house. He's got what a wonderful setup, which I'm not going to, explain his whole setup because I ain't trying to get the dude,
Yes.
But the whole thing is, he was a great host. He had beer on tap and shit, and he's actually from the military. He actually served in the military. He's originally from, I believe he was from Ohio. And he said when he came out to Jacksonville, he wanted to be the Jaguars' #1 fan. So he's got the 12-man, shirts. He's got the custom, Jaguars hat. He was pissed off when the media took his picture and made it, say that the fans were embarrassed to go to the Jaguars game because he never, gave anybody permission to do that.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. The guy I was talking about earlier is my buddy Sticky that I do a show with. And
Yeah.
He's made the front page of the Florida Times Union twice, both times after a Colts game. And it's both of them on.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he dressed exactly as shit. And they got one of him, like, just pouring down sweat, all the paint dry.
Yeah.
She turned her hair with...
Oh, wow.
She has really long hair, and she's a beautiful girl, and she turned it... You remember how Pretty Lightstocking used to do?
Yeah.
But she made all her hair and braided it and made it into a shot time mustache. So it was literally like...
I was pissed off. That was a great story. I was pissed off because, like I said, I partied with the, in my eyes, the Jaguars legend. He's on the papers and everything, you know what I'm saying? He just represents.
Right. Absolutely. I know who the guy is. Out of 70,000 people, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And the fucking thing about it was he went to one game this year, okay? And I don't know if you heard about it, but security actually had to come and forced him to leave. I'm not kidding you. Or, not forced him to leave, but forced him to sit down because he's an emotional fan. And up north, the security would have never done that because emotional fans are emotional fans. When you pay tickets, you have a right to put your fingers up if you want. I'm not saying that's a smart thing to do, but you have that right, in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, the person that was in front of him didn't even own the friggin' tickets. He got a ticket from a buddy of his, and he complained because Charlie was standing up, and Charlie refused to sit down.
That's bullshit.
So security had to come and fucking, ask... No, they didn't remove him, but they asked him to sit down.
That's not good.
And then the guy leaves, so they embarrassed the shit out of the dude.
That's unfortunately there's those fans at the games that drive me nuts.
I'm on the Gus bus and the Coldwell Express.
Absolutely, man, and I think it's just every piece of that equipment that's out on that field, every blade of grass, is every one of us.
Very true.
To me, Tennessee.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
They're not a true expansion team.
Like Baltimore, that's the Browns. But, I mean, that's not like a true, straight-up expansion. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. The Jaguars and Panthers.
Right, and if you look at what Tom Coughlin did with a cast of misfits, okay, that first year.
Yep.
They had the Kellys, they had some pieces there, and then all of a sudden the second year comes, and Fred Taylor.
Yep.
And
I remember them.
And you still had a good line there. You had Turkey, and you had little Pete Mitchell was on that team, and
I believe that. I believe that's when they got Smith as well, correct?
Yeah, well, we had Smith. Smith was brought over from the
Cowboys.
From the Cowboys. I believe he was brought over even our inaugural season. He was on the team from the start.
No. He was a cast off from the Cowboys. I think he was brought in through free agency, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
And that's what I'm saying. Coughlin pretty much put together handpicked. Because back then, a lot of people don't remember. Coughlin was everything. We didn't have a GM.
Yep.
Coughlin was a GM. He did everything.
Yeah, he put us in the red. And then bounced.
and then turned a cast of misfits into one of the most deadliest combinations of receivers. And what Brunell at that time kept logging in.
And then you had Brady too.
Yeah, you had Kyle Brady, and you had and it's funny because you look at that team back then. There's not any stars on that team, man. Even that.
Well, they had that other wide receiver that was their third one. I think his last name was Martin. I'm not positive what his last name was, but he wasn't bad either.
Willie Jackson.
Okay.
He was a former Florida Gator too. He was a young guy, but he lasted a couple. Yep. Denver.
Yep.
John Elway's Denver too now. That's still John Elway's team.
Oh yeah, they were a beast.
And it just sucks that we couldn't beat fucking. That was when Parcells was the coach of New England. And Buffalo was a beast too. So. That was the end of Jim Kelly.
You had Jim Kelly and you had Don Beebe over there too.
Yeah, Thurman Thomas. Remember Thurman Thomas?
Sure do.
Man, that guy was a fucking beast. And Reed. What was it?
Ed Reed. No, not Ed Reed. I'm trying to think what his first name was. Yeah, but I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But man, that's just some impressive shit there. And you look at Coughlin's playoff wins on the road.
And I think we lost to Tennessee due to fucking the refs too.
Yeah, there were some pretty sick fucking calls in that game. Absolutely. And oh my gosh, that one hurt. And then Jedd Fische.
Yeah.
People always hate Jedd Fische for that. Oh god.
Yeah, that's why I didn't understand when we needed a GM. Right.
Coughlin would still be here. Coughlin would have been here if they would have got a GM.
No. But what I'm saying is, lately when we needed a GM, correct?
Oh yeah.
I think it was either a GM or a coach. Well, we needed both evidently because malarkey was just full of malarkey. But Fisher was available, and people were talking about bringing him to Jacksonville. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Don't That'll put another 10-year hex on us. I think we have a hex on us right now.
So, yeah, it's just freaking. I want to touch base on something because something really pisses me off because. When reading the boards, I know that's why you don't read the boards anymore because they're so full of shit. But before I do that, you might want a minute to eat microwave pizza or something. And we only have like 21 minutes left, but I wanted to play this song because I just have the hookup. I just run into the right people, and they just give me stuff, to use. And this guy, actually, his name's Grant. He plays in a band, and he actually sent this song to the Jaguars. They denied it. They didn't tell him why, but they denied playing it, probably because it says Wires rather than Wars, which is pretty stupid. But it's a phenomenal song. I don't know if you ever heard this, but this is called On the Prowl. So enjoy. Can you hear it?
When they're on the road, far from home, do you wait games, make them hungry? Well, most will tell you it's as close as we can get, so let's get loud and get crazy. Now they're coming home, we can yell and chill. Pickets from down their body. On the prowl, turn it up, but don't stall. One by one, on the prowl, teeth of the prey. The Jaguars get out of the way. Yeah. Now it's final time, season's here, time to stretch your stuff. Many teams stand a bid, they're still hanging tough. It's on to victory, on to win, time to win for the Jaguars again. On the prowl, turn it up, get down smile, one. On the prowl, the team to the brain, to the Jag, we just get out of the way. Let's go Jaguars! Yeah. Put your hands together for your team, the Jaguars. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we're back. What did you think of that?
That's like 80s style. Yeah, I love it.
Exactly. I don't know why the Jags would say no, because it's a good song, in my opinion.
Oh, no, it's great. Well, it's definitely well produced, that's for damn sure. I've heard bits and pieces of that on the Bold City show before.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think, but they did it play like they were coming in from a commercial break. I think it was just like a 10-second snippet that they faded out. But it sounded.
But I told him I was looking for talent. I was doing a band thing, an advertisement and whatnot. He heard my name and, he asked, well, are you a Jaguar fan? And I said, sure am. Been one since day one. And he explained the story to me and asked me if I'd play it. And I said, yeah, I'll play it everywhere. Don't matter to me.
Well, yeah, dude, that's awesome.
And there's not that many people that get lucky like that.
No, man, winning a handout to spread the word of all things Jaguars and all things positive Jacksonville news.
All right, so since we only have a few minutes left, we can do the season in a nutshell, and then on the next show, we'll do the quarterback versus the pass rush, because we just don't have time.
Yeah, I know. We got sidetracked.
That's all right. That gives them something to look forward to on the next show. But here's the thing: people are hating on Jedd Fische, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The first half of the season, I think I was hating on him too. But when you think about it,
Yeah, to wash.
got rid of. They knew it was gonna be a wash, so they had to. And think about how many players they filtered in and out. I really think that it was actually a good thing.
Well, last time it wasn't.
Evaluated.
All right, go ahead.
I would say there's a lot of talent that was evaluated, and I think once Jedd Fische really saw what he.
Yep, the ace in the hole.
I can't wait to watch them grow up and play. He's gonna get better and better. He's gonna be the slot receiver we wish that Mike.
Exactly. He's phenomenal for what he does. Once he's in space, forget about it.
And man, you talk about bad calls, dude. I feel Ace should have had a punt return for a touchdown. That was one of the most bullshit calls. They called a block on the.
Yep.
And it was a clean hit, and because he hit him hard, the guy I think he was trying to call a hitting.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I want to touch on next week about how shitty the refs are they put in Jacksonville. The hometown refs suck.
Yeah, it's not even just that. I mean, we're starting to really see that a lot of these games, even with the replay.
It seems like the NFL is literally trying to screw Jacksonville with these refs. All these calls are on the Jags.
Yeah, we definitely don't. I mean, I've seen winning, and I mean, even when Gabbert was back there, get hit late so many times.
It's not even that. I just think there's just a vendetta against Jacksonville. I just think there is.
Vendetta, I like it. I love the conspiracy talk, man. I'm with you on that.
I really do. I mean, I've never seen, and don't get me wrong. I was about to say I am an Eagles fan. I was an Eagles fan. I don't even know who the fuck's on the team anymore. But I was an Eagles fan because mainly I was a Jags fan in the beginning, mainly count of Brunell. I was an Eagles fan mainly because of Randall Cunningham.
Right.
Okay, what he did was phenomenal. But I've seen where, Dallas would Dallas refs would screw with Philadelphia in Dallas. Every year. They'd screw them every year, and they'd lose, not due to the fact that they were losing the game, but due to the refs. But in Jacksonville, for some reason, I see how the Jacksonville refs want to screw Jacksonville in Jacksonville. I can't understand that. I've seen so many bad calls this year, it's not even funny.
Yeah, there could be something to that for sure, because especially when you watch it live.
Exactly. We only have a few minutes here, so I'm not going to get more into the Jedd Fische. I think he did a phenomenal job. I think next week I will touch more base into it. I'm going to ask this question. I know it sounds silly, but would there have been a QB conspiracy? Okay. Had the pass from Robinson been caught by Shorts?
Yeah, well, no. Honestly, no. I mean, he wasn't that good in college. That's the problem. He really wasn't good at all in college. Like, at the end,
I don't know. I disagree. I think he made some solid passes in Michigan. I'm not gonna, necessarily say he's the answer quarterback, even though I like to joke around on the Jags forum, and I'm like, let's start Robinson, But he's certainly not the answer at running back. So where do you put him?
I don't know. And luckily, though, that's the one good thing about Bernard is that at least we didn't go and get him in a third or second round.
I understand. Okay, we're going to do a thing that I just made up right now, and we're just going to do it every week because we can. Player versus player, we're going to call it, just for the shits and giggles. And if I forget next week, tell me we got to do a player versus player, and I'll remember. Here we go. Mojo leaves, just hypothetically. I don't picture him staying. Okay. You don't draft the running back, right? You don't grab one from free agency. I mean, high up anyway. Your starters are your choice between Robinson and Todman. Who do you choose and why?
Oh, I mean, that's easy. I mean, body of work, Todman, for sure, body of work. We saw Todman have the free agent.
I'll agree, and for the exact same points, other than, he's from Connecticut, and I got to root for the hometown boy. But yeah, when he first started, I'm like, he's a beast. Everyone's like, how do you know? You didn't see him, because in that preseason game he did, a great job, and every time he had to touch, regardless of what string he had to face, it ain't his fault he had to face second or third stringers. That's what he put him against, and he did the job,
Well, yeah, I mean, I saw him put a hell of a block on Mario Williams in that game.
Yep.
And honestly, Todman can do something that I don't know if Bernard will ever be able to do.
He can also catch.
Yeah, he can catch. And I think the thing is with Bernard is, like I said, he's too talented not to find a spot.
Yeah.
And that's what you want, though.
Yeah.
That guy came out of nowhere, off the streets, and was a scrap heave off of Green Bay, and And, you know, there's a couple times we've done for Seattle, but had success.
I'll disagree with that Peyton Manning thing. And I'm going to say this real quick. If you did not have Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis, Peyton Manning would not have been as successful as he was, period.
Right. No, I understand that. But, I mean, a lot of their defenses, I mean, they always had a good pass rush, but their overall defense, you know, other than Bob Sanders had weren't known to be I mean, they've got definitely, I mean, Robert Mathis had an unbelievable, one of the best years.
Yeah, but Denver already had a good defense, though.
Yeah, well, Denver's defense this year was a joke, then. I mean, they were awful this year. I mean, look at look what we did to them.
No,
and that's the common misconception.
No,
you know
definitely not.
And just like Ed Reed. Ed Reed laughed all the way to the bank this year, and I'm so happy that happened to.
Yeah, I don't even want to go there, and I don't want to, go with Cleo Lemon either. So yeah, and I don't want to go with Quinn, and you know.
Yeah, but I think it's good that, like, you know, we have the most cap space in the NFL to buy free agents. But here's the thing, that I think that Hallville, they're the best player we've ever known.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean? Miami.
Well, on that end, I don't mean to cut you off, but we have like 50 seconds left, and I have to plug the other shows.
Oh, yeah, man.
Just to let you know, we have, if you've never heard of Northern League, which we don't have Northern League coming yet, but there's other people on that, you know, on the label with them or associated with them. Eli Cannon, Manny James, who did the Visa, Julio Jones commercial, will be on Monday. R&B singer Kendall will be on Tuesday, and then Eli Cannon, who's Trippy Hop, like Trip Hop, will be on Wednesday. And we will have a new call-in system next week. I didn't even bother this week. It's pointless. Anyway, we have about 14 seconds here. I am CtJags, also known as Ray Ray, and this is Duvall Kenny.
Yes, sir. Listen to worfcast and check it out. And thanks again, Ray Ray, man. I had a great time with you tonight, brother.
All right, and we're out.